Something unusual is happening in the Strait of Hormuz. For days, shipping through the world's most important oil choke point had almost completely stopped after the US Israel war on Iran began. But now some ships are quietly starting to move again, and the vessels being allowed through tell a bigger geopolitical story. According to ship tracking data, Iran appears to be letting certain countries pass, while keeping pressure on the United States and its allies. That strategy could deepen the diplomatic isolation of Washington and Tel Aviv during this war. So, what exactly is happening in the Strait of Hormuz? Let's talk about it. New ship tracking data shows that a small but growing number of vessels are passing through the Strait of Hormuz. Maritime intelligence firm Windward says 8 non-Iranian ships were detected moving through the strait on Monday. That may not sound like much, but it's almost double the number seen in the previous days when shipping traffic had nearly stopped. Another tracking service, Marine Traffic, recorded 9 transits over the weekend and Monday, compared with just 5 in the 2 days before that. Even so, traffic remains extremely low. Normally, dozens of tankers move through the strait every day, carrying roughly one fifth of the world's oil supply. Right now, shipping has collapsed more than 95% since the war began. The ships that are passing through the strait are not random. Most of them are Chinese, Indian, and Pakistani flagged vessels. Analysts say this suggests Iran is allowing permission based transit for friendly or neutral countries. As more ships are rerouting through Iran's territorial waters, that would only happen if Iran had given them permission. Western linked vessels are unlikely to take that route, but ships from countries that maintain relations with Iran appear to be getting through. In other words, the strait may not be fully closed. Instead, it may be selectively open, and Iranian officials have hinted at exactly that strategy. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said this week that the strait remains open but close to our enemies. Early in the conflict, a spokesperson for the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps warned that ships trying to pass could be attacked. That warning triggered the dramatic drop in shipping traffic. This strategy allows Tehran to pressure the US and its allies while avoiding a complete shutdown of global oil flows. Even the threat of disruption has shaken global energy markets. Oil prices have surged above $100 per barrel, more than 40% higher than before the war began. That's because the Strait of Hormuz is one of the world's most important energy routes. Between 20 and 30% of global oil consumption normally moves through this narrow passage between Iran, Oman, and the UAE. If that flow stops completely, the global economy feels it almost immediately. The United States has proposed sending an international naval coalition to secure the waterway. President Donald Trump has called on countries like China, Japan, South Korea, France, and the United Kingdom to contribute ships. But so far, no country has publicly confirmed it will join. Several US allies have already signaled reluctance to get directly involved in the war. That hesitation is one reason Iran's selective transit strategy could be significant. Because if some countries can move their ships through the strait while others cannot, it increases the diplomatic pressure on Washington. At the same time, the military situation around the strait remains tense. The US military says it has struck Iranian missile sites near the waterway, including hardened positions that could threaten shipping. According to US Central Command, those anti-ship missile systems posed a risk to vessels passing through the strait. So while a few ships are beginning to move again, the region remains highly volatile. Right now, the Strait of Hormuz is not fully open, but it may not be fully closed either. Instead, Iran appears to be allowing selective passage for certain countries while maintaining pressure on the United States and Israel. If that strategy continues, it could reshape the diplomatic landscape of the war, isolating Washington even further while keeping global oil markets on edge. And in a conflict where energy routes are weapons, control of this narrow waterway may become just as important as the battlefield itself.